welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Susan and this is Rooted Word. Now, this video is for people like me who are single and maybe didn't have a quote-unquote Valentine or a guy, in your life. Because love is love. You have your sisters, if you have sisters, your brothers, your folks, your parents, your relatives and friends and all that good stuff. But in a world that is focused a lot on, this day, that there are so many, there are dinners, there are lunches, there are flowers, there are cards. What happens when now it's, Valentine's is over. The flowers could be dead. Unless you got a tree and planted it. The posts have gone down, or they have not gone down, but there are no more posts. Yeah, all the lovey-dovey, the pictures and all that. And now you who is not a participant in that, I was just wondering, does it bother you? Does it bother you? For me, actually, to be honest, it doesn't bother me, because for the longest time, Valentine's, when I used to work in corporate, there's a friend of mine, we used to go out. We used to take ourselves out for lunch, would buy each other gifts. She had a boyfriend. There was a time I was married, guys. I think I've said this before. So yeah, when you're married, it's a thing. You get the flowers, you get the chocolates. So I've learned throughout the years just to, on that day, if it's really a thing, I will do something. If it's a thing. What do I mean? Now I have grown-up kids, so it depends. Sometimes I'm with my grown-up kids. Sometimes I'm just by myself. Maybe if I'm really feeling the month of the year, I don't know. I don't really like flowers. I don't mind them. But chocolates, I love. So I will not send myself chocolates, but I will get myself chocolates. I can get myself cake. I can take myself out. But I've realized also that habit or that thing that I do sometimes can minimize the efforts of others. You know what I'm saying? So I think also people may want an explanation. Like maybe now some of you are like, so why are you single? Well, I guess I have been single for quite some time, and we'll talk about that in the next one. But it's a season. I believe it's my season. There was a season I was married, and that season ended, and it ended very quickly. And I've already talked about that before. And then there's been a season where I was really in ministry, and there was no way I was going to have a relationship during that season, because it was a season of consecration and a season of working. But again, one thing I would like to tell everybody, you don't need to explain your seasons to anybody. But I just wanted the singles to know that sometimes you're in a season. And in that season, what do you do with it? I think that's the most important. If you're single, never married, you really need to look after this season. Because when you're married, it's a totally different new thing. And I know people say it, but I'm telling you the truth. And if you're like me, who was married before many years ago, and now you're single, it's different because and of course, I'm much more mature now and much older. So the Susan that was when I was in my 20s is not the Susan that is right now. You know what I'm saying? So my expectations, the viewpoints that I have right now, my life experience, if I'm to enter a relationship right now, it will be so totally different from the one that I had, even my marriage that I had. If I was to get married now, I am a complete Susan from the one who got married many, many years ago. But in between, how am I treating that season? And let me say it again, you don't have to explain to anybody about your seasons, but you need to know what season are you in. Are you a seed that has just been planted? Are you a seed that is about to burst out from the ground and grow? Are you a seed that is now grown and is bearing fruit? There are many things, many places you could be. And understanding that season and not romanticizing it per se would be very beneficial. Not having a partner, or if you're not married, you're not dating, and you're not engaged, it doesn't mean you don't have faith. I believe these are things that each one of us has to go back to the Lord, especially if you really want to get married. You really need to go back to the Lord again so that you get to know what season you really are in. God says he's close to all of us. It's not just all of us who are single or who are married. He's close to all of us in all seasons, in all seasons. So I'll say, for those of you who are Valentining, I pray that you remember that it is the love of God that gives you the love you have for each other. So I would say keep that up. Love is patient, love is kind, it doesn't boast, it's not rude, all those good things. Yeah. So for those of you who have that, you already have a guideline of how to continue in that good way and to remember that God is love. Now, for us who are waiting on the Lord and we know we are going to be in relationships, we know we are going to get married and all that good stuff, I would say that we need to we need to look at what the world is showing us and really take stock, because some of the things that are happening now, a lot of marriages are struggling and a lot of marriages are even ending so quickly because of the expectations and the lack of understanding. So I'll just be like, once again, know your season, get with the Lord. And when that season now changes, you're moving from single to a relationship, you're in a relationship, you have a partner, you're heading into marriage, really take time and learn from people who've been married many years, learn from people who've been divorced, because you'll be very surprised. There are things that people divorce for: money, sex, so many things, work. So there are many things that can lead to divorce. People who, if you just can't have kids and somebody wants to have kids and they don't want to stay in that marriage, many things, and you may not take it, you may not ask the question now, are you the person who wants to have kids? Are you the person where money is a big deal? And then for me, the most important, the person you are looking for or wanting, have you become that person? You want this person to invest all this in you, and what have you invested in yourself? And are you willing also to invest in this other person? Marriage is a two-way street. It's not a one-way street. We are two people, and so learning about yourself, I think, is the most important. And the best person who can teach you about yourself is the Lord, like the real truth, about who you are. You may not like yourself right now and you get to see yourself, but the beauty about it is you can drop those things that need to be dropped and pick the things that need to be picked, so that by the time you are getting into a relationship, when you're ready to get into that season, you are okay, you are whole. The other person is not completing you, the other person is not doing anything. You are a complete person by yourself. So I just wanted to talk about that. I hope it's helpful. It's helpful to me because I am in this season, and I will talk about the two. I'm gonna pick two guys, I won't say their names, in the next one, that were we dating? Were they counterfeits? Who were they? So until the next one, I hope this has been something to think about after Valentine's. And I just want to say thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for those who have shared. Until the next one, I say bye-bye. See you in the next one.